if there's a parasite on the top of my deck on the first turn, not only am I gonna rage quit, I'm gonna change it.
Thousands of tears later.
Alright, let's go. Bruh. He chained correctly. That actually fucked me. This season's Stage 2 KC Cup came to an end on day 2, when my DP went to 0 due to cheese decks and random bad luck. I prayed to the gods of the Netherlands to bless me with a new strategy, and this is the beast they provided. Tower Monster Imaruka, Sacred Beast of the Nevermeese, which allows you to send a monster to the grave and to draw a card. I've sent Citadel Well to the grave and Megalo to the hand more times than I can remember. He fight, he protect, but most of all, he never moves. What's going on, boys? YTDan back again with this KC Cup commentary. So I want to make a couple statements about the KC Cup, and I want to really let my opinion be known here. A lot of times when we do the KC Cup, I really understand that it's a grind fest, and I don't really understand the logic as to why Konami wants that to be done in the way that they want it, in terms of a 3-day grind fest to get your DP as high as possible. I really find it inconvenient for myself most times, trying to juggle life, YouTube, and even climbing this ranked ladder all at the same time. And I never had a time because something always comes up. Like this time, I could only really put in enough time to do the stream that I did, which you guys have up there and you can watch it any time. And also the second day, which is day 2, I played it for a little bit and I got tilted so hard I lost all my DP. When I went down to 0, I got so disgusted I was going to just quit. But the reason why I even bother to play in the KC Cup is because I want to show people that regardless of what deck you choose to play, especially if you choose to go off meta, you can be successful and gain ranks in the KC Cup. So I decided that I wasn't going to give up on my Mermail deck. I wasn't going to give up on the Nevermeese, and I went ahead and looked at all the water monsters to find a new strategy. Imaruka really showed me what I was missing in the deck. Previously, I was using Moray of Greed, and Moray of Greed allows us to put 2 water monsters back and draw a card. But as you saw in the live stream, I kept hitting either Moray of Greed and missing my target, or drawing Moray of Greed at inopportune times and losing when I just needed a water monster. So initially, I was looking for a water monster that could special summon from the grave, but what I found was Imaruka. By being able to get destroyed by any means from your opponent and adding 1 card to the hand and putting 1 card in the grave, that's the ultimate setup card for this deck. And I almost can't believe that I never even recognized or seen this card before. But when I saw this card, I knew that it was the right card. I added the card to the deck. I removed Moray of Greed. I took out that level 4 Abyss Soldier, or the level 4 Mermail monster that lets you discard a card and search for a card. And I added in the Hammer Shark. And Hammer Shark allowed me to extend my plays so I could put 1 extra monster on the board, because you can have Hammer Shark into Heavy Infantry into Imaruka, or Heavy Infantry into another Heavy Infantry, or another Sea Serpent in general. Which is another thing I really like about Imaruka, because Imaruka is a Sea Serpent itself. And being a Sea Serpent, that is just 100% synergy with the deck. And again, I just don't believe that I missed it all this time. But one thing I want to say about the KC Cup, there's a lot of times when you're playing in the KC Cup and you're just doing fine, your rank is just skyrocketing, you're on a win streak like no other, and you come across the deck or the player or whatever that you saw in the beginning of this video. Someone with no sleeves, someone who has a Weevil character, most likely, Parasite Infection, and for some reason Parasite always hits first and second turn. And I don't understand how that is so consistent every single time I play this game, only in the KC Cup. It's just absolutely insane. Now, I know it's highly improbable that someone can have a hand like that, but being improbable doesn't mean impossible. So it can happen. And I'm not saying all these people are cheaters. I don't think that everyone's a cheater that plays this game in the KC Cup. However, at the end of every KC Cup, Konami has always went back and readjusted the ranks, readjusted the points, readjusted everything basically, because cheaters are in the game and taking advantage of the system. Now, I don't really know what they do to prevent cheaters or to stop cheaters, but at the end of the day, the cheaters still exist. The main reason I play the KC Cup, going into the KC Cup knowing that at the end of the day, I'm not gonna be able to go to any tournaments. Even if I want it, I just can't take the time away from work, away from life. My mission is to play in the KC Cup with my deck, with a deck I built, something that I believe in, and to climb as far as I can go in a much time that I have to do it in, to show everyone and to prove to myself that I have what it takes to make something unconventional work. And getting 20,000 points for any deck is honorable. I don't care what anyone has to say. If you're saying 20K points isn't honorable, I mean, I guess it's just your opinion. But in my personal opinion, I think it's something worth talking about, especially when it's a deck that no one else plays. But that's all I really have to say about KOG. I'm sorry, that's all I really have to say about this, and that's all I really have to say about the KC Cup. I appreciate you guys watching this video and listening, and as always, keep it dang.